Hey Sista, it's Tara Wagner, the Organic Sister. I am out on my morning walk, taking some quiet time before we travel today, and thinking about a question that's been on my mind a lot lately, which is what do you do when it all sucks? Talking with some of my girls, one of those days or weeks when, the shit hits the fan and everything seems to be falling apart, and what do you do? And I think our initial reaction when we're with our girls is, how can we fix this? And what can we do? And what can we change? And what's your next step? And I was thinking about that, and I think we do that with our kids too. What can we do? What do you need to change? What did you do wrong? What can you do right? Maybe we might do it in a more or less compassionate way, but it's still essentially the same thing. It's all about our actions. But I was just thinking, what if the question is not what needs to be done, but what needs to be felt, or what needs to be heard, or what needs to be said, what needs to be experienced? It might be the car broke down and the kids are screaming, and your website got hacked, and your big beautiful project was a flop, and it could be anything, right? And we want to move into reactionary mode. What do I do? What do I fix? What do I change? What did I do wrong? We're always looking at our actions, but I think that we want to create our actions to create happiness instead of creating happiness to create our actions, Like, it's the other way around. It's not our actions that make us happy. It's our happiness that create our actions, or at least ideally, that's what we want. So I'm coming off this really bad week, and my initial reaction was, how do I fix this? How do I change it? What do I do? What did I do wrong? And I just kept getting the message, just shut up. Stop talking about it. Just feel it. Or shut it all out for a while and feel something else. So it comes back to that question, what do you do then? And for me, I do the absolute minimum. I shut everything off. I only answer the emails I have to answer. I only fix the problems that need to be fixed. And yeah, sometimes there are times when there are things we have to do. We can't shut it all off. But even in those times, if we're honest with ourselves, it doesn't need to be done right then. We can send someone an email and say, hey, I'm on this. I will get back to you by next Friday. It's really, we think that there are all these little emergencies, and they very rarely are. And we forget that if we're not taking care of ourselves, we're allowing ourselves to experience whatever it is we're experiencing emotionally or spiritually, we're just going to bottle it up and create an explosion. And we're not going to give ourselves the experience. And the experience is really what changes us, what helps us to grow, or helps us to create something different in the future. It's not our actions that create us. We create our actions. So maybe then the question is just, who are we in that moment? Are we our real authentic self, grounded and at peace or in love with what's going on, or we are stressed out, unhappy, resentful, depressed, scattered selves? Who are we, and what are we creating, or where are we moving from? So yeah, back to the question, what do you do? As little as possible. Only the absolute necessary things. And you question yourself on what's really necessary. You give yourself a lot of downtime. You let yourself mope. You let yourself bitch and vent. For me, I do a lot of digging deep, a lot of writing. I'll call on my support systems. I'll shut it all off. I'll bring it all back in. And I'll allow myself to just move one moment at a time. In this moment, what do I want to do? Do I want to take care of this business thing? Or do I, want to say my Sunday is for me and shut it all off? Do I want to clean the house? That's never a yes for me. And then I just do what I love, or what allows me to tune out for a while. I think we don't give tuning out its credit. Sometimes that's a really good thing, to turn on a movie and tune it all out so that we can get ourselves back into that place of feeling good, and then we can go in and change things or fix it or, handle it. So, ask yourself, what do I do? And what do I want to do when nothing's working, when everything is broken, or it's not just raining and it's pouring? How do I want to respond in those situations? How do I want to feel? Do I want to be a human doing, or do I want to be a human being? And who am I? And what does that person do in that situation? And aren't I deserving of a break, or rest, or a movie night? Because I hate to break it to you, but you're really not that important that the world's gonna stop spinning if you take a night off. If you take a week off, most people aren't even gonna notice. So stop thinking about what everyone else is gonna think and just ask yourself, what do I need to do when everything sucks? What do I really need? Do I really need more work, more stress? Or do I need sleep? Do I need support? Do I need connection? Do I need fun? What needs to be heard? What needs to be felt? What needs to be said? What needs to be experienced? And then, what needs to be done? Peace.